Night jobs always sound simple. Warehouse guard, lighthouse crew, late night delivery driver. Easy money. Until something else clocks in. Until something knocks from below. Until you realize you were never the one in control.
Welcome back to the Shadows. I'm the Sightless storyteller.
My name is Daniel Harper. I've been working the night shift at a small warehouse outside town for almost 2 years. From 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., it's just me, the buzzing fluorescent lights, and the old mechanical time clock by the entrance. At least, it used to be. 3 weeks ago, something changed. The first night, I showed up at 9:57 p.m. I remember checking the time on my phone before sliding my card toward the machine. Before I even touched it, clunk, the clock stamped. 9:59 p.m. Fresh red ink. I froze. I hadn't swiped my card yet. I told myself it was a glitch. That machine is ancient. But the next night it happened again. 9:58 p.m. Stamp. No card, no touch, just the sound. That's when I realized something wasn't right. When payroll logs came in, there were 2 timestamps every night around 10 p.m. Mine and another one. No employee number, no name, just blank. Then the small things started. Tools I set on a cart would appear across the warehouse. The forklift I parked carefully would be facing the wrong direction. I started hearing footsteps up in the storage loft above me. Every time I climbed up to check, no one. I asked my supervisor if anyone else had access at night. He said no. I was the only one scheduled. Then Friday happened. I was doing inventory when I heard it again. Clunk. The time clock. I wasn't near the entrance. I walked toward it slowly. The red ink was still wet. 10 p.m. While I stared at it, I felt something warm on the back of my neck. Breathing. Slow. Deliberate. I couldn't turn around. Instead, I looked at the glass reflection on the clock. Behind me, there was a tall shape, its outline shifting, like smoke trying to form a body. The clock stamped again, 10:01 p.m. That's when I ran. I didn't clock out. I didn't shut off the lights. I drove home shaking and called in sick. 2 days later, my supervisor left me a voicemail. He asked why I'd been clocking in every night without entering through the front door. According to security footage, the door opens by itself. The clock stamps, and something walks through the aisles. The cameras distort when it passes, but the logs clearly say, Daniel Harper, 10 p.m. I haven't gone back, but every night at 9:59 p.m., I get a system notification. Daniel Harper clocked in. 1 minute later, another notification appears. No name attached. Whatever took my shift hasn't missed a single night. I thought the lighthouse job would be easy money, just storm monitoring. There were 4 of us when we arrived. At least, I thought there were. The tower stood alone on jagged rock miles off the coast, just gray water and wind. The first 2 days were fine. On the 3rd night, the storm hit, harder than anything I've ever seen. Around midnight, our boat tore free from the dock. We watched it vanish into the dark, stranded. At 2 a.m., the main power failed. Complete darkness, except for the lantern room at the top, still rotating on backup power. Then we heard it. 3 slow thuds from below us. There's nothing beneath that lighthouse but concrete and rock. The knocks came again, same pattern. We forced ourselves to check the lower level. Nothing. Door locked from the inside. No flooding, no cracks. Then the rotating lights stopped. The beam froze, pointing straight into the storm. The motor died. We climbed to the top. Through rain-streaked glass, I saw it. Something in the ocean. Too tall to be debris, too still to be a wave. Rising out of the water, watching. Then the knocking started again, but this time it came from the door. 3 slow strikes. The wind outside was violent. No one could stand out there, but the handle began to turn, slowly, like someone testing the lock. We didn't move. We didn't breathe. After a long moment, it stopped. The lantern resumed rotating. Morning came. The storm was gone. The sea was calm. Our missing boat was back at the dock, tied neatly. One of us was missing. His boots were still by the door. We searched everywhere. No blood, no broken windows, just 3 deep dents in the metal entrance. When I checked company records later, my stomach dropped. Only 3 workers had ever been assigned that shift, not 4. So who were we talking to all night? I remember gripping the steering wheel so tight my fingers hurt. The road behind me was white and endless, until the shadow appeared. It swallowed the road like darkness pouring over snow. The car launched into the air. My body twisted, organs flipping inside me. I slammed back down. Then the shadow covered everything. Total darkness, heat rising, air disappearing. Then a voice boomed. "Lisa, I just washed that pillowcase." Suddenly, I was lifted upward. Light poured in from above. Below me wasn't snow, it was fabric. The landscape stretched like threads across a bed. "That's it, no more toys for you." The rubbery pressure released. I fell, down into a pile of broken vehicles. Plastic, paint chipped, wheels cracked. I looked down at my hands still molded around the steering wheel. Small, plastic. A giant boot approached. The world shook. As it came down, crushing everything, my mind drifted back to when I had flesh, when I had freedom, before I became something that only moved when someone else played with me. And then, everything went dark.
These accounts belong to those who learned that the dark is never really empty. This collection may be over, but there are always new voices waiting to be heard in the silence. Leave a comment and tell me which of these stories shed you the most. I'm the Sightless Storyteller. Thank you for listening and sleep well if you can.